George Orwell's Animal Farm, it's one of those books that starts with this incredible dream of freedom, but, well, it spirals into a total nightmare of control. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into the first 5 chapters and see exactly how this amazing, hopeful revolution was won, and then how it was so quickly betrayed from the inside. This right here, this single idea is the spark that lights the whole fire. It's the core complaint, the big grievance that the old bore old major lays out for everyone. And believe me, it sets the stage for everything that's about to happen. Okay, so let's set the scene. On Manor Farm, life for the animals is, well, it's awful. They're born, they're forced to work until they can't anymore, and then they're slaughtered. That's it. But then one night, the big prize-winning boar, Old Major, he calls a secret meeting in the barn. He says he had a dream. But first, he has a vision to share that is going to change their world forever. Old Major's argument is just so simple and honestly so powerful. He just breaks it all down for them. He says, look, your suffering isn't an accident. It's not because the farm is poor or because that's just how life is. Nope. It has one single cause, and one cause only, man. And if man is the problem, well, the solution is pretty clear, isn't it? Old Major's speech isn't just a complaint session. Oh no, it's a call to arms. He's telling them to dedicate their lives to one thing, overthrowing the human race. He doesn't know when it'll happen, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 100 years, but he knows it's the only way they'll ever be free. And this is absolutely crucial. Old Major gives them a warning. He knows that power is tricky, so he lays down some ground rules. No animal should ever act like a human, no houses, no beds, no clothes, none of it. And above all, they have to be united. This whole idea gets wrapped up in their brand new revolutionary song, Beasts of England, which they just sing at the top of their lungs, totally swept up in the moment. So Old Major actually dies just a few days later. But that dream of his, it takes root. The pigs, who are the cleverest of the animals, especially this one named Snowball and another more intense pig named Napoleon, they start organizing. They figure the rebellion is a long way off, but it turns out to be a lot sooner than they thought. You know, this is often how it happens, right? It's not some grand coordinated plan. It's just a moment of pure desperation. Mr. Jones gets drunk, forgets to feed them, and they're starving. So a cow kicks in a door to get some food. When Jones and his men come out with whips, something just snaps. The animals, all at once, just fight back. The humans are so stunned, they just run. And just like that, Manor Farm belongs to the animals. The feeling afterwards is just pure joy. They can't believe it. The first thing they do is go on this rampage, destroying every single thing that reminds them of their slavery. Whips, chains, even the pretty ribbons the horse Molly liked to wear. They sing their anthem again and again, and they give the farm a new name, Animal Farm. Okay, so the chaotic, emotional part is over. Now they actually have to build a society. With the humans gone, the pigs, led by Snowball and Napoleon, take charge. Turns out they've secretly taught themselves to read and write. And they've taken all of Old Major's ideas and turned them into a whole system of thought they call animalism. Snowball gets a ladder and paints these 7 principles on the side of the big barn. These are meant to be the absolute, unchangeable laws of Animal Farm. But I want you to look really closely at that last one, number 7. It's supposed to be the bedrock of everything. All animals are equal. Remember that one. It's going to be important. And at first, it's a paradise. The dream is real. The animals work like they've never worked before, but they're happy because this time the food is for them. The harvest is the biggest the farm has ever produced, and they get it done in record time. For this one brief shining moment, it's a total success. But there's this one weird little thing. On the very first day, after they milk the cows, there are 5 buckets of fresh, creamy milk just sitting there. But later, when the animals come back from the fields, it's just gone. It's the first tiny little crack in their perfect world. Well, the mystery gets solved pretty fast. The milk is being mixed into the pig's food, and soon after, the apples that fall from the trees are also declared to be for the pigs only. A pig named Squealer, who is an amazing speaker, is sent to explain it to everyone. He says, listen, it's not that we're greedy, it's that we're the brain workers. We need this to stay smart and run the farm, because if we fail, Jones will come back. And that threat, You don't want Jones to come back, do you? It's the ultimate weapon. It works every time. Now, the success of Animal Farm is not going unnoticed. All the nearby farmers are terrified that their own animals will get ideas and rebel too. So, in early October, Mr. Jones gets together with his men and they launch an attack to try and take the farm back. But the animals are ready for them. Snowball, it turns out, has been reading an old book about Julius Caesar's military campaigns. He's not just waiting, he's planned a whole defensive strategy. It's a brilliant, multi-stage ambush designed to lure the humans right into a trap. And it works perfectly. The humans are completely routed. Snowball gets wounded, but he's incredibly brave, charging right at Jones. Boxer the horse is an absolute powerhouse. The men panic and are driven off the farm in a complete and total retreat. The animals have defended their revolution, and they've won. After a huge victory like that, you gotta celebrate, right? So they immediately start creating new traditions. They invent military medals, animal hero, first class, and give them to Snowball and Boxer. They name the fight the Battle of the Cowshed and decide to fire Mr. Jones's old gun twice a year on the anniversaries, turning a weapon of their oppression into a symbol of their freedom. So they've beaten the humans. They're safe from the outside world. But it turns out the biggest threat was on the inside all along. The rivalry between the two leaders, Snowball and Napoleon, has been bubbling under the surface this whole time, and now it's about to explode. It all comes down to this one big issue, the windmill. Snowball is the innovator, the dreamer. He has these incredible, elaborate plans for a windmill that will generate electricity and make life easier for everyone. A 3-day work week. Napoleon, on the other hand, says it's all nonsense. They need to focus on one thing, producing more food right now. The whole farm is basically split right down the middle. So the day comes for the big vote, and Snowball, he gets up there and he just gives this amazing, passionate speech. He paints this vivid picture of the future, a future with electricity and comfort and less work. He's so brilliant that it's obvious to everyone listening he's won the argument. The vote is just a formality at this point. But just as Snowball finishes, Napoleon gets up. He doesn't make a speech, he doesn't argue. He just lets out this strange, high-pitched whimper that no one's ever heard before. And at that sound, 9 enormous, vicious dogs come tearing into the barn, and they go straight for Snowball. And everyone recognizes them. They're the puppies Napoleon took away months ago to educate in secret. This is his private army. Snowball barely escapes with his life, running off the farm with the dogs snapping right at his heels. In a matter of moments, the entire game has changed. Snowball is gone. Napoleon gets up on the platform and announces that the Sunday meetings are over. They're a waste of time, he says. From now on, a special committee of pigs, led by him, of course, will make all the decisions. And if anyone even thinks about protesting, the 9 dogs start growling, and they shut up real fast. And just like that, the revolution completely devours itself. The democracy they fought for is gone, snuffed out not by humans, but by a brutal coup from within. The animals got rid of their human master, that's for sure. But now you have to ask, who was their master now?